How's it going, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. With the worldwide pandemic and people having to stay inside, now it's finally winding down, but especially in the early days of the pandemic, early last year, when people were sort of getting used to having to stay inside all the time, people really began to turn back to their hobbies. For a lot of people, like myself, that was collecting music, physical media, CDs, records, tapes, all that sort of stuff. But one hobby that really exploded online, especially in the YouTube space, was card collecting. And I filmed a video back in December 2020 where I pulled out an old box of basketball cards that I got several years ago and sort of went through them and talked about my favorite players from that era. And it was a fun, just sort of nostalgic video. It was different than the videos I usually make, which of course I talk about country music mostly. This was a fun little departure, one video departure from that. But today's video is special because not only am I going to be talking about card collecting some more, but it is country music related. Of course, in the early 1990s, with the massive commercial explosion of Garth Brooks and Billy Ray Cyrus and plenty of other artists that were selling platinum and multi-platinum albums and getting massive hit singles, country music really became a commercial superpower like it had only been very, very briefly before in history. And perhaps in an effort to capitalize on the sudden popularity of country music, there was a massive spike in 1992 of collector card companies putting out card sets featuring the popular country music stars of the past and of course of the present. I have done my research online and I have found 5 separate card sets that were released in 1992 and 1993, and the odd thing is, for some reason, after 1992 and 1993, nothing else ever happened again for like 20 more years. For some reason, all of these card companies were like, okay, 1992, let's make some country music card sets, and then after that, it's like just dropped off the face of the planet. There was just a massive spike in country music card collecting apparently, and then afterwards it was just like, all right, a year later no one cares anymore. It's kind of funny. So I have identified 5 individual card sets, all of which were published in either 1992 or 1993, and I've got pieces of 3 of them right here. I have a complete set of Sterling Country Gold Series 1. This was released in 1992. This is a small collector's box of ACM Country Classics put out by the actual Academy of Country Music. This is also 1992, and then I have 8 packs of Branson Onstage individual packs, and also published 1992. So what I will be doing is I will be turning the camera around towards my desk and I will be unboxing these packs and these boxes for y'all right now, and we're gonna see what I get, talk about maybe the stars featured on the cards and all that stuff, and it'll just be a fun little unboxing video, a collector's video, not your typical commentary, but a little combination of the commentary that y'all are used to seeing from me, as well as the fun collector side of everything. Yo guys, what's up? This is Grant. I am currently in the process of editing the video that you are currently watching, and I'm very sorry to report that with my microphone that I'm using right now, there were some severe technical difficulties with the segments that you're about to watch, actually for the entire rest of the video. The recording for this video actually took me a really long time. I was running out of space on my phone. I record all my videos on my phone, and so I actually had to record multiple videos, and so because I had to keep pausing and making new video clips, I also paused my audio recording. I record in Audacity, and because I kept on pausing the audio recordings, for whatever reason, this caused a glitch with, my audio recording from my microphone, and for that reason, the audio from my microphone is completely out of sync with the sound from the camera. Because of the glitched audio that I recorded for this video, unfortunately, it's beyond repair, and so unfortunately for that reason, from this point on in the video, you're just going to be hearing the audio, the raw audio from the iPhone. I apologize right now for the drastic drop off in audio quality that you're about to hear, but it had to be done. And I couldn't film this video twice, so sorry for the technical difficulties, but that's just how it is. Alright y'all, so here we are. We have switched to the unboxing camera angle. By the way, subscribe to my unboxing channel, Grant's Tapes, where I open sealed new old stock cassettes and vinyl and also CDs as well. I'm going to be uploading a ton of more stuff onto there soon, so make sure that if you're into music collecting and unboxing content, you go and subscribe. So as you can see, we've got the Branson packs. They are 8. They are loose packs. And we've got this ACM Country Classics box. This is sealed up, and then the Sterling Country Gold box that is sealed up. So one thing that I will note about these boxes is that they are not the typical hobby boxes that you would see like in a store or like a Target or something like that. According to what the box says, that these are complete sets. So as you can see, it says a complete set of 99 cards. So what I assume that means is that you're not really gonna get packs in here to open like you would, you know, buying individual packs at a store, like a typical retail store. But I assume that this is just a box full of every single card in the set. So we should be getting the entire set. And as you can see, there are 10 gold foil stamp cards included with a checklist. And then on this ACM box, it says 2 hologram cards enclosed. So that's pretty cool. And then the Branson packs are 10 collector cards. And so you'll notice actually that the Branson cards, this set was more focused on old school for the time, you know, country legends rather than current artists, whereas these two sets focused on both old school and new school country artists. So these boxes are sealed up. We're going to be opening them. They appear to be genuine. When you're collecting cards and, you know, you're not ordering them directly from a store in person or anything like that, and you're ordering them online, I suppose there's always the risk that you're getting a resealed box. But let me tell you something. If there's a scam running online of people resealing up old, you know, country music trading card sets from 30 years ago, I will be shocked. Like this ACM one still has original shrink wrap on it, so this one looks legit. This one doesn't have any, you know, watermarks or anything on it, but again, it looks legit. Doesn't look like it's been resealed. So again, like I was saying, if there's a scam running on eBay of all these people opening and resealing these old school country music card sets to scam people, I'd be very shocked. So I'm thinking that we're gonna go ahead and open the Branson Onstage packs first. We've got 8 of them, and so yeah, man, let's go to work and open these packs. I think I already see Merle Haggard right there. There we go, baby. Starting it off with Merle Haggard. That's what's up. But let's see what else we got. All right, so we got the checklist right off the bat. That's pretty cool. Barbara Mandrell. I'm pretty sure all 3 Mandrell sisters are in this set. I see where there we go. Louise Mandrell, Irene Mandrell. So yeah, we got all 3 of them right off the bat. All right, T.G. Shepherd, Marie Osmond. That's an interesting one. Ronnie Millsap, Wade Benson Landry, Boxcar Willie, he's awesome, and then of course Merle Haggard. These are pretty cool. So I'll show you guys what the backs look like. So there's Merle Haggard's back of the card right there. It's pretty cool. So pretty basic card set. Look, you got the Branson logo up there. You got the picture, the action shot of Merle Haggard right there, or a promo shot in the case of the other ones. You got his name down there. I will say, definitely you get like a sort of like a cardboard traditional feel with these cards. That's what they feel like. These aren't like the super glossy modern cards you'll get. These feel definitely very, very old school. This card's a little bit bent actually on the top. Maybe that's for me opening it, but these are pretty cool. Let's open up a little bit easier. Let's see who we got. Let's see who we got in this stack right here. We've got Mickey Guiley, Jerry Clower, Barbara Fairchild, Todd Brumley, Merle Haggard again, so we got a duplicate already, Jimmy Rogers, all right, Debbie Campbell, Dick Curlis, Danny Davis, and Wayne Francis. So as you can see already, this set focuses a bit more on you know, classic Nashville entertainers, some older names in the genre at the time. So even though this came out in 1992, you're not going to get a lot of, you know, the hot new stars of the early 90s in this set. You're going to get a lot of, you know, the legends of the time in this set. All right, so I was watching some of the footage back after taking a break, and I realized that the lighting was horrible. So I brought in a different light so we can now open the rest of these packs. This is pack number 3. But here we go. We got Christy Lane, Roy Clark there, man, there we go. Roy Clark, probably the greatest country music guitarist of all time. Roy Clark is awesome. If you're a guitar player, you gotta listen to Roy Clark. We got Mark Jones, the Moffat Brothers, the Foggy River Boys, so we're getting some of the groups in here. Michael Rogers, Dick Curlis, again, this is an alternate. Mike Gavin, Ferlin Husky, I've heard of him, and then the Osmond Brothers. So we got another T.G. Shepherd, so we got another duplicate there. Blackwood Quartet. Danny Davis and the Nashville Brass. Mo Bandy, I recognize that name. Glenn Campbell, awesome, awesome, awesome. Barbara Mandrell, that's a duplicate. Different picture. Louise Mandrell, all right, that's an alternate right there. Erlene Mandrell, so there are a lot of duplicates with, you know, alternate pictures in this set. Loretta Lynn, there we go, that's awesome. Blackwood Quartet alternate and a T.G. Shepherd alternate. So we got another Boxcar Willie, but let's see. All right, Boxcar Willie in the front and the back. Another Roy Clark duplicate. Mark Jones duplicate. Moffat Brothers again. Foggy River Boys. Michael Rogers. Dick Curlis again. Another duplicate of that one. Mike Gavin. Ferlin Husky. And a Boxcar Willie alternate. So yeah, I will say this. This set is pretty cool. Of course, I like the card design, and of course you get all these cool country legends, but I will say I am getting a lot of duplicates in this set, a lot of alternates too, so there isn't really a huge diversity in terms of who you can get in this set. Alrighty, so let's see, we get Wade Benson Landry an alternate, the Brashler Music Show, we get Sons of the Pioneers, alright, Jim Stafford, Janie Frick, I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, but she's great. I've heard a lot of her stuff. Rodney Dillard, Bonnie Owens, The Strangers, and Jim Owen. Oh, and then also the Bald Knobbers. That's a great name for a band. All right, so we finally get some different ones in here. All right, we are down to the final two. This is pack number 7. Let's see, all right, a Bonnie Owens duplicate. Marie Osmond, that's an alternate. Ronnie Millsap, that's an alternate. Lee Greenwood, I've not seen him yet, that's cool. Jim Owen, that's an alternate. The Lowe Sisters, the Brashler Music Show, that's a duplicate. Jimmy Rogers, that one's pretty cool. Droopy Drawers. And then a Bonnie Owens alternate. So some more duplicates, but again, some names we hadn't seen before. All right, and here is the last of the Branson Onstage Packs 1992 set. All right, we got Marie Osmond again, and Jim Stafford. Mickey Guiley, have not seen that one yet. The Osmond Brothers, that's another different one, alternate. Roy Clark, there's a Roy Clark alternate. Danny Davis and the Nashville Brass. Mo Bandy, that's an alternate. Glenn Campbell, Barbara Mandrell, and Louise Mandrell. So I will say, all in all, that was a pretty cool set. You get a lot of country legends, but there definitely are a lot of duplicates and a lot of alternates in that set, so you don't really get a diversity in terms of who you can possibly pull in a pack. But all in all, that's a pretty cool set, I think. Hey everybody, it's Grant here. Sorry to interrupt yet again, but I forgot to mention this in the video. As I mentioned, I have 3 of the 5 1992 and 1993 country trading card sets that I'm checking out in this video. However, when it comes to the other 2 sets that I have not named yet, I have a source and I will be able to open a full sealed box, like a factory hobby box set with like 30-something packs in each box for the other 2 sets that I have not named yet. But here's the thing. If this video gets 20 likes, I want to do a live stream unboxing live on this channel so I can talk with you guys and we can, go back and forth and have a conversation while I'm opening these packs. It'll be a cool thing, maybe, an hour to a couple hours. I'll just go through the boxes, open every single pack, and we can see what we get and talk country music, and it'll be a fun live stream event. I've never done a live stream before. I want to interact more with you guys, and if that means, going into live streaming a little bit, I want to do that. So let me know in the comment section if you would like to see that. And like I said, let's try and get this video to 20 likes and I will do that live stream. All right, so here we are with the ACM Country Classics 1992 factory set with 100 premium collector's cards and 2 holograms enclosed. Like I said, I don't think this is your traditional hobby box. It's going to have all the packs in it. I think it's just a complete set of cards in the box. So let's open this one up. Use some scissors here to break the seal. All right, there we go. And like I said, the seal on this one appears to be legit. I do not think that's a fake seal. Of course, like I said, always the potential that you're getting scammed with these boxes, but again, If someone is trying to scam fans of 90s country, that would just be very surprising. All right, and there we go. That is the box. Looks like we've got another seal on here, actually. So double protected. Like I said, this doesn't look fake. This doesn't look like a scam operation. All right, let's cut this a little bit. Yeah, so basically double sealed up, actually. I like that. I like the packaging. It's pretty good. And yeah, like I said, it is a full stack of cards. How about that? So no packs, but we get to go through this entire stack of cards. This is really, really cool. All right, y'all, that is a fat stack of cards. Let's go through all of them real quick. It's got a pretty basic card design. I think I actually like the Branson card design better. But here we go. We got Bonnie Owens, who we saw a lot of in that last set. We've got Charlie Rich, Eddie Rabbit, that's a great picture right there. Freddie Fender, Hank Williams Jr., that is an old school picture of young Hank Williams Jr. Got the Possum George Jones, Lee Greenwood, Merle Haggard, we saw a bunch of him in the last set too. The Bellamy Brothers, Bakersfield, I guess this is like a location card, so you got Bakersfield, California. You got Bobby Bear, Cal Smith. Then you got Doug Stone. All right, so there's another modern guy right there who is, of course, very popular at the time. Doug Stone, he's awesome. Freddie Hart. Another picture of Hank Williams Jr. So I think that Hank Williams Jr. had like a little special endorsement with this set because I remember reading some advertising that apparently there were like a ton of Hank Williams Jr. alternates in this set. We got another cool headshot there of Hank Jr. Lacey J. Dalton, Mel McDaniel, Terry Gibbs, Wayne Newton, Betty Jo Spears, Buddy Allen Owens, Doug Kershaw, Roy Acuff, one of the titans of country music, Hank Williams Jr., a good hunting picture with his dog right there, Kitty Wells, Mark Colley, who was on the come-up at this time, sort of yet to have his biggest hits like Every Man in the Moon is Crying, but he was on the come-up, cool to see him. Susie Boggess, this is probably my favorite female country singer of all time. She was super awesome, very unique, amazing voice, sort of like a folky sort of vibe on the country trends of that time, but she was awesome. The Statlers, Sweethearts of the Rodeo, that's kind of a funny candid pick. Buck Owens, awesome picture. Donna Fargo, Eddie Raven, a Roy Acuff alternate. That's a really cool picture right there with the shadow. Another Hank Williams Jr. alternate. Jeez, I could fill up a whole binder page full of all these Hank Jr. alternates. Kathy Mattea, Marie Osmond, Shelby Lynn. Check out that 80s hair, man. The Lagarde twins, Alan Jackson, baby. There we go. Alan Jackson and Brooks and Dunn right there. So we're going to check out these card backs, by the way. I do think that the card backs are cooler than the Branson ones, but I definitely think the Branson front design is better. But yeah, these ACM card backs are definitely very cool. You got the other picture on the back. You got the full bio right there. I think these are really cool card backs. Brooks and Dunn, who of course, were brand new on the scene practically at this time. We're talking 1992. Yeah, that's an awesome card right there. Great picture. Got Debbie Boone, Eddie Arnold, Roy Acuff alternate, Hank Williams Jr. Man, look how different he looked without a beard, man. So there are so many Hank Williams Jr. alternates in this set. KT Oslin, she's great. Leroy Van Dyke. We've got Sawyer Brown, one of the most popular country bands of the 90s. The Gatlin Brothers. Chet Atkins, that's an interesting one in the set. I suppose he was important in the world of country music as far as influences, but what do you call him, a straight-up country artist? I don't really know about that. Crystal Gale, Gary Morris, and some of these cards do stick together a little bit. Gene Autry, that's a great picture right there. Holly Dunn, Jeannie C. Riley, Minnie Pearl, The Legend, Patsy Montana, the Country Music Hall of Fame, another location card. Highway 101, one of the more underrated country bands of this era. Chris Ledoux, the all-time legend, awesome, true cowboy, a true cowboy singer, so underrated throughout his career. He deserved much better, way more hits. Dan Seals, awesome, one of the greatest country singers of the 80s, super underrated these days. Another cool Gene Autry pick right here. Another Gene Autry pick, so many Gene Autry alternates also. Jerry Jeff Walker, Joe Diffie, man, awesome. Look at that mullet right there, dude, on the back as well. That's the regular Joe cover. Awesome, man. Great Joe Diffie card. All right, then we got Mo Bandy. I think this might be an alternate. Patty Page. The Strangers, that's a group shot. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Clint Black, there we go, man. Clint Black, so awesome. Man, at one time, people thought he was going to be bigger than Garth, man. Don't forget that. Clint Black, awesome singer-songwriter, all-time legend. That's a great picture. Danielle Alexander, she was pretty underrated. Another Gene Autry alternate. A Roy Acuff alternate. Jerry Reed, John Anderson. That's a great promo pic right there. That's, you know, this is obviously the Seminole Wind era. Look at that jacket, man. That is so cool. This is back when he's in the middle of his career comeback, man, a resurgence. Not a lot of artists get those. Neil McCoy, this is right before he's about to get his big break with the No Doubt About It album. Look at that shirt, man. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Rana Reeves, she was super underrated, female singer with lots of potential. She was great. She's got some very underrated songs on her albums. Linda Ronstadt, the Ryman Auditorium. Colin Ray, he was on the way up when this card set came out. David Frizzell. Another great Gene Autry alternate. Another Roy Acuff alternate as well. Jim Glaser, super underrated. If you don't know his song Lights of Albuquerque, that's one of the most underrated songs in country music history. Then we got Johnny Lee, very underrated. He was a big star in the 80s, very underrated in the big scope of things. Nicolette Larson, Ronnie Millsap, Hoyt Axton. That's a cool picture right there. I like that picture of Hoyt Axton. Then, of course, we got the Nashville skyline. That's a pretty cool picture right there. We got Christy Lane, Davis Daniel, a very underrated singer from this time. Gene Autry, another alternate. Another Roy Acuff alternate. Janie Frick, again, I think this is the exact same picture that the Branson set used, actually. Juice Newton. Olivia Newton-John. That's an interesting one. I mean, was she even really considered a country artist anymore at this point? That's kind of funny. Roy Clark, awesome. Michelle Wright. Then we've got the checklist, and then here are the hologram cards. And check these out with the light shining on them. That's pretty cool. Look at this, man. I think that's, you know, that's the ACM trophy. That's pretty cool. And then you've got the picture of the Nashville skyline with the logo, with the guitar, the fiddle, and the banjo. That's pretty cool. So I like this card set a lot, man. You got a cool mix of the old and the new at the time in this set. I think that was a pretty cool one. All right, and here is the Sterling Country Gold 1992 complete set of 99 cards box set. And so when you look up country music trading cards, this is probably the most well-known and distinctive set. You see a lot of these cards. This set is pretty common, pretty sought after, and there's some great cards in this set. A lot more of the names of new artists that were out at the time. Not so many legends, but a lot of newer artists, as well as some pretty underground artists as well, or artists that weren't as well known back then. So we're just gonna snip the shrink wrap over there, and there we go. All right, let's take this off. All right, there we go. Opens over here. A little bit of a soft box. And yeah, wow, here we go. And so it comes, same thing as the ACM set. It comes as a complete set. And I will say this right off the bat, y'all. The ACM box was much better packed. I'm not really sure what exactly the deal was with this one, but the cards were stacked on their side rather than vertically in the box. And so I don't know if it was caused by, damage to the box and shipping, or if it was, again, just the way they were packed. But several of these cards actually, as you'll see, came out of the box with like a few wrinkles on the edges, which of course means they're no longer, in pristine condition, which is a little too bad. Nothing too crazy, I wasn't hoping to get these cards appraised or anything and flip them, but it's a bit upsetting that a few of them came wrinkled. And also, y'all didn't see this because I turned off the camera and took a long break to do this. I spent at least 10 to 15 minutes prying these cards apart. So the card fronts on these are glossier, more of what you'd be used to for modern cards, whereas for example the Branson cards, those were traditional, like old school cardboard, right? So because of the glossy substance that's on the front of these cards, I had to spend again 10 to 15 minutes prying these cards apart. Like there'd be two of them stuck together like this, like back to back, right? And I literally had to pry them apart, dig my fingernails in and pry them apart. I was so worried that I would bend the cards and maybe even rip them, and thankfully that didn't happen. But yeah, it's super interesting, and again, like the cards were sticky because they're glossier, but these are very good looking cards, and there's a reason why this is probably the most famous set. So I will get into showing y'all everyone that's in this set. And so what I like the most about this card set is that not only is the design very cool on the front and back, but you actually have like little subsets based on like subgenres or like how recent an artist is, which is pretty cool, as you'll see. But we'll start off with the normal cards. So we've got Ronnie Millsap, Roy Clark with the same picture that all these card sets use pretty much. You've got Carlene Carter, Sweethearts of the Rodeo, and that's the exact same picture that I think the ACM set used. We got Rex Allen Jr., Shenandoah, that's the same picture that was on the cover of their Long Time Comin' album cover. Lori Morgan, Corbin Hanner, whom I have never heard of. I guess they are a songwriting duo. And that's actually what's really, really cool about this set, is that there are actually several artists that I have never heard of. And I like to think of myself as, a big country nerd of this era. But I mean, there are some artists that I guess were either brand new, had only recorded a few singles, but they were featured in this card set. So these two fit in that category. I had never heard of Corbin Hanner before I got this card. We have Ronnie McDowell, Molly and the Haymakers, which is a great name for a band, but like with Corbin Hanner, I had never heard of these guys before. Then we have Gary Morris, Six Shooter, and this is an interesting group because these guys were like, I guess they were trying to make them like the country New Kids on the Block or something like that. All of these guys were teenagers at the time. They only recorded like one album. It even says on the back right there, Teen Country Music Idols. All I can really find on them is one single they had. I can't remember what it's called, but it had like a dance mix and everything like that. It came out in 1993. I think they only had one album, but yeah, this is an interesting group. You really cannot find much on them online at all, but yeah, Six Shooter, they're kind of funny. Then we got Hoyt Axton, More and More, who were a sister duo. I had never heard of them either, so another act that I'd never heard of. Eddie Rabbit, Doug Stone, he's awesome. And then a lot of y'all could probably see this one in the background. This is a very young, very fresh Martina McBride, who at this point, I think had probably literally just released her debut album. So she was like brand new on the scene at this time, probably didn't even have a hit to her name yet. Then of course we have the legend Willie Nelson, the Bellamy Brothers, Marie Osmond, Bonnie Nelson, Ronna Reeves, Alan Jackson, and then this is one of those cards that unfortunately was a bit folded at the edges, as you can see there. So, unfortunately, again, it's sad that the Alan Jackson card was one of the ones that got a little bit damaged. But, I'm not too hurt about that. This is a cool-looking card. That's a good shot of Alan Jackson. Then we've got Mike Reed, Ricky Skaggs, Bailey and the Boys, who started out as a band. At this point, I think they were a husband and wife duo. Paulette Carlson, Clint Black, the man, he's awesome. Holly Dunn, Eddie Raven. We got T.G. Shepherd, Louise Mandrell, Prairie Oyster, who were a pretty prolific Canadian band, actually, and I think they reformed a few times, but they were getting big around this time. But like I said, Canadian band. Stacey Dean Campbell, who also was pretty brand new at this time. He didn't really have that many hits, but he was very underrated. The Remingtons, a very underrated trio. They released a couple of albums, some pretty good songs on there. Martin Del Rey, Deanna Cox, had never heard of her before this set. Bobby Bear, David Lynn Jones. There's the checklist. Wayne Newton. The McCarters, I had never heard of them. Don't know who they are. Cleve Francis. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. And so what's interesting is when people talk about black country singers, they never bring up this guy. And this guy had a few songs that were, kind of minor hits, but he had a really good voice and had a couple albums in the early 90s. Very solid singer. And so yeah, when people talk about famous black country singers, you of course know about Charlie Pride, Darius Rucker, but you never hear Cleve Francis in that discussion. He was pretty good. Then Travis Tritt, that's a pretty cool picture of that red tassel jacket in front of the American flag. The great Dan Seals, Michelle Wright, Canyon, and this is a funny card because Canyon was actually a band, but only one of the members was on the front of the card, so I'm sure he liked that. That's kind of funny. The great Don Williams and Randy Travis, awesome picture. Yeah, man, this is a great Randy Travis card. Very happy to have this one in my collection now. We got the Possum, George Jones. We got the Forrester sisters, Kathy Mattea, Doug Kershaw, legendary fiddle player, Sawyer Brown, one of the more legendary country bands in the 90s, as I said. And then Jeff Chance, man, if you want to talk about underrated 90s country singers, check out this guy, Jeff Chance. His album, it's actually the same picture as his album cover for his 1992 album, Walk Softly on the Bridges. So underrated. This guy should have had just a ton of hits, just such a great, smooth, natural voice. This guy was awesome, mad underrated. Becky Hobbs, Mickey Giley, Michael Johnson, Neil McCoy, Merle Haggard, Erlene Mandrell, John Anderson. That's a cool picture with the jacket he was wearing in the liner notes of Seminole Wind. Dixiana, I guess this is a female-led country band. I had never heard of them either. Mary Chapin Carpenter, Steve Wariner, Charlie Daniels Band. That's such a great picture of Charlie Daniels. Oh man, he's awesome. Unfortunately, I never saw him live, but yeah, man, Charlie Daniels. I'm a Charlie Daniels fan, huge, big time. He's great. Barbara Mandrell, Hank Williams Jr., Crook and Chase, who were a prolific radio and television duo. Charlie Chase and Lorraine Crook, these two were great. The Oak Ridge Boys, Mo Bandy, Mark Colley, Emmylou Harris, Ricky Van Shelton, in my opinion, the most underrated country singer of all time. Look at that sick leather jacket he's wearing right there, too, with all the studs on it. That's awesome, man. Donna Fargo, Tammy Wynette, Paul Overstreet, one of the great songwriters of all time, and he had some pretty great songs and solo albums as well. Crystal Gale, T. Graham Brown, Janie Frick. And then to round out the regular cards, we got Roger Miller, KT Oslin, and Lynn Anderson. And then we start the card subsets. And so this is the Hot Picks series. And I guess these were artists that were, they really wanted to highlight as the true rising stars of the genre at the time. Of course, we gotta begin with the most legendary mullet of all time, Billy Ray Cyrus. And of course, this being 1992, he had just come out with Some Gave All, the best-selling debut album for a male artist ever. A record which may never be broken considering how streaming has just killed total album sales. We got Mark Chestnut. He's awesome. I've seen him live. He is so incredible live. This is actually a picture I've never seen of him before. We got Brooks and Dunn. Awesome picture of these guys right here. Billy Dean, Diamond Rio, Joe Diffie, another great mullet right there. Susie Boggess, Tracy Lawrence performing with some roses in his hand. I guess someone must have thrown them on stage or something. Little Texas, who had just debuted at this time, I think. Colin Ray, and then Marty Stewart. So that is the Hot Picks lineup. And then there's this other cool series called Western Beat, which I guess just focuses on, more cowboy singers, Western singers. And so we've got Don Edwards, Rosie Flores, Michael Martin Murphy. I definitely have heard of him before. Riders in the Sky, I've heard of them. They're great. Sons of the San Joaquin. And then Waddy, I don't know how to pronounce his name, I'm sorry, Waddy Mitchell. And then as promised on the box, we get 10 gold foil stamp cards, and what's different is that the coloring with the little star graphic is a little bit different, and then the country gold is, you got that gold foil stamp instead of just, the regular green and yellow text. And so for those cards, we got Clint Black, Carlene Carter, Randy Travis, Bonnie Nelson, George Jones, the Forrester Sisters, Sawyer Brown, Jeff Chance, and Becky Hobbs. And Doug Kershaw was hidden there as well with the 10th card. I was worried because I only counted 9 cards, but like I said, with the way these glossy surface cards were kind of stuck together, he was stuck to the back of the Sawyer Brown card, so that was kind of funny. So I will say that out of all the card sets, this one is my favorite, and there's a reason for that. I mean, although, the packaging and the way it came was kind of, disappointing in terms of some of the cards already being a little bit damaged, and, the fact that they were, stuck together. I guess it's, the age of, these almost 30-year-old cards being stuck together in that box for so long, having never been opened. That's just the way they came. But the reason I like this card set the most is because you definitely get the most diversity in terms of who you could pull. Because, you have the superstars of the era, the big hit makers, but you also had legends like, Merle Haggard and George Jones, and then you had artists that were, of course, on the rise, and that's in the Hot Picks category. And then also, as I mentioned, there were several artists in this set of cards that I had never heard of. And, as I said, I like to think of myself as a country nerd, and I like to think I know everyone who was around at this time, even if they weren't getting hits on the charts. But there were some artists in this set that I had never ever heard of, and I looked them up, and it's like they only had a few singles to their name throughout their entire career. And so overall, I think this is a pretty impressive and diverse set of cards here by the CMA. And so with all that being said, that is this country music trading cards unboxing video, pack opening, whatever you want to call it. I just wanted to do this little fun video, more casual, not really talking so much in commentary, just showing off some vintage memorabilia from a true golden era for country music. And this really, captured country music at an interesting apex point. The very early 90s country music really was exploding at this time, and you can see with, this launch of a country music trading card set, which really had never existed before, and, there were so many different lineups. So like I said, if you guys want to see me do a full box unboxing for some of the other trading card series, please let me know in the comments. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching.